Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm going to go after the PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy.
But you know what is easy?
Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're going to need all the easy you can get.
Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out backswinggolfevents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to On Par with Amanda Uncensored. We're going to bring Big John Quick. How are you, sir?
What's up, people?
Good to have you.
First time caller.
First time caller. I would love to talk about, we're getting out of winter into spring, into summer. A lot more golf is happening. And I want to talk about, we've done it in the past, but I want to revisit club fitting, professional club fittings. Now, in the past, I've said, if you absolutely can't get a club fitting or it's too expensive, I always suggest that your putter at least be dialed in and to go get a putter fitting at the very, very minimal. Or do a golf ball fitting. I know we have talked about with like Encore and that kind of stuff. But I just personally, and it's been a while, I personally went through a golf club fitting. And I have to tell you, like, I hadn't been through the process in a while. I'm not playing anymore. And there's a lot of things that I was shocked to find out. So with that said, I want to talk to you about the last time you got a club fitting, and then we'll kind of dive into my experience and kind of what that looks like. But
my last club fitting was just outside of Chicago. Bill and I getting fitted for Tour Edge clubs at the Tour Edge headquarters. And I would have to say that was probably 4 years ago.
Okay.
So it was a while back, and probably could use another one right now, to figure out, am I the same, according to my golf coach, that my driver should be, not cut down and should still be at, probably the normal length. And I generate more miles per hour and therefore maybe gain 5 more yards. I just have to adjust my impact, where my impact is and stuff like that, so I don't slice the ball. But so there's stuff, and I believe that when you start switching over, so for me, being 56 years old, I'm making that transition into senior, and different shafts, and maybe the senior shafts or something like that. And the other thing too is, depending if you're in the middle of weight loss. If you're in the middle of weight loss, that's going to make a difference once you complete that. It's going
to affect your swing and everything. Yeah. And I think so. A lot of people have the misconception that if you get a golf club fitting, you have to change all your golf clubs. And that's not necessarily true. I got fitted for all new golf clubs. It had been a while, probably 4 years since I had new irons. I absolutely hated and despised my driver, which we thought, and we found out later that it actually was broke, and I didn't know it. Because it wasn't physically broke to the eye. It was inside. So I was working way too hard. But I think like you said, your golf swing is going to change. I'm a prime example. I do not practice and I do not play nearly as much as I did when I played full time.
Right.
So for the last 2 years, I get in as many rounds as I can, but it's here and there. I work a few backswing
OEMs.
events.
Right.
Yeah, it's not consistent enough.
Yeah.
So I was actually really nervous, and I'm not. Why would I be nervous to go get fit? But I was super nervous because I think a lot of people have this conception of being intimidated by a golf fitting because if I'm not hitting the ball perfect, they're not going to be able to fit me. And let me just tell you, I was coming off a back injury. They could only fit me at this certain time. I went in. My golf game is just not super polished right now. I went in and it was such a smooth process. And it was actually really enlightening because he's like, if you're not hitting the ball well, then we can see your miss and we can get your misses. And golf is a game of misses. You're not ever hitting the ball perfectly. He's
Right.
like, if we can regulate the misses and this is now your margin of error versus something twice as big, then when you are hitting the ball well, you shouldn't have an issue. So I know, especially for women, but guys, I know a lot of guys that are intimidated to go get fit. But I'm telling you, so I hit my golf clubs, I got them. I was like, oh, it's going to take me a month to settle into new clubs. I went out to the range, and we have learned now that because I'm not practicing and playing, I had Mizunos before. Those are players' clubs. If you miss the sweet spot, you're doomed. You lose 8 yards instantly. I got a little bit more forgiving club. I got something that was going to serve me now, not serve Amanda's ego from 4 or 5 years ago. And I think that was a big thing for me. Like you said, as you're aging, we're all in that boat. I don't hit the ball as far as I used to. We will continuously decrease.
And you know what? I'm playing a brand that it's always been a part of my golf career since the beginning. And I know there was a time that I moved away from them, started, using other brands and trying other brands and stuff like that. But it brought me right back to where I started with the brand that I started playing golf with. Because there's they produce a forgiving club, for the amateurs out there, for the people that don't play every day, don't have a career. I mean, and they're the choice of the Champions Tour, and there's some actual, professional golfers on the Live Golf, on the PGA Tour that are playing these clubs as well with Tour Edge clubs. And with that said, back to the fitting aspect of it, let me just tell you guys don't have to get a full bag,
No.
a fitting. You could get, like Amanda said, dial in your putter, get your putter fitted, right? Or if
Your
it's
driver.
if it's your driver that you want to just get fitted, maybe you're having a problem and you're not having problems with the middle clubs, get your driver fitted. I will say it is recommended that if you plan on buying a whole new set, driver to putter, that you should get a fitting for the full bag then. And a lot of times I think the average price for full bag fitting is like $200.
And then they apply it towards whatever you buy.
Right.
So, and my thing for me, I think a lot of times I hear this a lot from even beginner golf. I get it. If you don't even know how to swing a golf club yet, yeah, okay. But even from like amateurs that are semi-decent, want to get better, I hear it all the time. I look in their bag and they're playing their grandfather's golf clubs from 25, 30 years ago.
Probably still has a wrap on it too on the handle.
Yeah, and so my biggest thing there is technology moves very quickly in the golf industry. We all know within a matter of a couple years, lightning years ahead.
Yeah.
So when you're out there and you're frustrated, it was like my husband, for example, when we got together and he said, I've taken an 8-year hiatus from golf, but I want to get back into it. His clubs were ancient. So it doesn't matter how good of a golf swing, like you're working way too hard to hit the ball. And so we got him fit. We threw him in some new golf clubs that worked for him at the moment. And it's now been 4 years since that. And it's about time for him to he's come a long way. But I just think a lot of people always think, well, I'm not good enough to go get a fitting. Only professionals go get fit.
Yeah. No.
You guys are doing yourself such a disservice.
You'll
Such
have
a
so much
disservice.
fun when the clubs are dialed to
Oh,
you
so
and
good.
you're not dialed to the clubs,
Yep.
or you need to change your swing in the mid round to the
Yeah,
clubs. It's just so much fun to know that the club is dialed to your swing, you
sure.
know, and the fitting's not there to change your swing. The fitting is there to fit the clubs to what you have.
Yeah, 100%. And that is the ticket. You can't be, I mean, I get it. I'm not saying if you want to go get lessons and work on
Right.
your golf game, that's separate.
Yeah,
But
if you want to go to the range and go ahead and hit 200 balls a day or whatever case
sure.
might be to better yourself, nobody's
Yeah,
saying don't do
absolutely.
that. Yeah,
But what people also have to understand that if you hit, let's say your clubs are bent 1 degree or 2 degree, like I'm 2 degrees flat.
right.
If I'm swinging a standard club, it doesn't matter. If I'm swinging, my swing is my swing, no matter what happens. So as long as I'm swinging the same, it I need a club that fits that. Like I'm definitely going to struggle with something that isn't bent to what works for me. So I just highly recommend it. I had a great experience. I know Biggs, you've ranted and raved over your previous experiences.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, you don't have to be a professional or a scratch or a 5 handicap to go get fit. In fact, I think it helps a 20 handicap more than it helps the scratch golfer.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
look up your local fitting place if you have favorite clubs, or go to like a cool clubs or a golf tech place that has them all so you can try out all of it. Just can't talk about it enough. So do that before we get rolling into golf season.
There you go.
Biggs, thank you for joining us today, as
Thanks for having me.
always. Good to have you. For those at home, right into the show. I'm A Robertson Golf on Instagram. Right in. Love hearing from you guys. And until next time, keep swinging for par.